is Ezra, and I got my dude
Beanie.
And this is the WTTL Welcome to the League podcast and
Sports show podcast.
Sports show and podcast. Come
Yeah.
on. So with that being said, man, this podcast is our first one. This is not like the official. This is a dry run. We're just two big fans of sports and football mainly, and fantasy football. And we just wanted to take the time out just to talk a little bit and introduce ourselves and just to talk about, you know, some of the things that are going on in football right now. This has been a crazy offseason, dude.
Yes, it has.
This has been a crazy offseason.
We did attempt to record once before, but audio didn't come out. So this is the first actual podcast. Hopefully we can find that lost audio and get it working sooner or later. Yes, it has been a crazy year. The entire landscape of the NFL has changed. And for y'all that don't know, my boy Ezra right here is a Rams fan.
Woohoo!
I know, we still love him.
Hold on, wait. I gotta say this. I'm a Rams fan in the New Orleans area, dude. And when I first moved here, and we'll talk about this in another post. In my regular job, what used to be my regular job anyway, people used to come in the store all the time. It's like, man, what's that you got on? And I'm like, I got on it's a Rams hat. Man, you need to get that out of here.
You know why, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're in the New Orleans area. They don't like the Rams down here.
Pass interference. Old NFC West.
Yes, exactly.
Situation. But like I said, we're going to talk about that in a different podcast.
Yeah, they don't like the Rams down here.
We're going to talk about that in a different podcast. So, yeah, you said landscape of the NFL has changed. So with that being said, dude, what's your favorite part of the landscape changing, or just free agency in general for 2022?
Mainly that the landscape changed in like their new elite teams, the old elite teams aren't elite no more. And we're gonna see, like, come on now, the Cincinnati Bengals are relevant again. You got the NFC is the second fiddle player to the AFC, with the exception of very few NFC teams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but like, honestly, one of my favorite moves so far this year is Devontae Parker going to New England, because that gives Mac Jones his first number one wide receiver that boy had out of college. And I think it's going to make him even better. It might make him a top 10 fantasy quarterback coming up this year.
Okay.
What's your favorite move so far? And don't say a Rams move.
Hold up, wait. That's not fair. Two,
yes, it is.
You know what? Okay, it's not necessarily a Rams move, but it's a Rams effect. And you know how everybody always talks about the Aaron Donald effect. Every single last pass rusher that comes in and has played with him, and you go back and look at the stats. You look at Clay Matthews when he came from Green Bay or wherever he was coming from to come play with the Rams. He followed up with a 10. He had a 10-sack season. You got Dante Fowler came to the Rams. He ended up with, like, I think it was like between 9 and 11 sacks. You got whoever, you know, Von Miller. Yeah, you can kind of say yay or nay because Von is gonna get his, but you can't tell me that it didn't help Von to come and play with an AD, and it didn't help AD to have a Von coming off the other side to be able to be as effective as they were in the second half of the season. Because the Rams defense wasn't bad. They were giving up some yards in the passing game. But on a whole, they were making stops. But with that being said, I like the whole, you know, how we talk about the AD effect. Look at the whole Rams effect on the league, where you see teams, they're going through this whole stage of forget them picks.
Well, y'all started that, yeah. So
I mean, and seriously though, I don't think we necessarily started it, because I'm trying to think back what team has done some craziness. Oh wait, was that the Saints with Mike Ditka back in the day? That, like, forget those picks. I'm gonna give you 1 through 7 plus 2 more picks for the following season.
Yeah, now you just made every Saints fan mad. You just hurt their feelings.
I mean,
trigger warning for Saints fans.
It didn't work out for Mike Ditka, but he kind of started it. We just took the process, and I believe we really just and I say we like I work for the Rams. Well, I'm just a big
You're a
Rams fan, man.
so that's they're you just like the Saints are we.
But neither
me.
here nor there. I think everybody was looking at them at first, and just follow it like this. Okay, so Rams were the first ones within this past 5-6 years since Sean McVay has been the coach. They were the first team to start resting their veterans, like literally resting their veterans during pivotal moments, during regular training weeks and preseason and so on and so forth. And they got scrutinized for it for about 2 seasons. But then now you see a lot of teams resting their veterans, taking better care of their vets, and you're seeing better care being taken to the vets, and the vets are lasting longer. And I think that effect is also helping with older players getting bigger contracts or better contracts because there's fewer injuries. I'm not saying that the Rams did it, but it was something that they did, and they changed the culture. The second thing you look at is going back to the whole pick situation. It's like, look, man, we're here to win football games. We're here to win championships. And that's something that you didn't have with old school Jeff Fisher as head coaches. And every coach behind him prior to Mike Martz, when he got fired, he was a winning coach. He had a better winning percentage than every other coach that was actively coaching at that time. So you go from him all the way up to Fisher, and the culture sucked. The Rams culture sucked. So I think the biggest thing that I take away from this particular offseason is that Rams culture, between Les Snead, between Sean McVay and Stan Kroenke, how they've created a particular culture within the organization, and then how they actively run business and said, look, man, if we're not getting what we can from the picks, we're going to go out and find somebody and let somebody else have these picks. Not necessarily saying that the picks aren't valued, but they found their value in the pick a different way.
And why draft a rookie that you don't know what's going to do when you got a proven veteran out there that you know he's going to be worth it?
Right. And then the other part of it is they're looking at, okay, so it made them value those later picks even more, because how many players that you can you get that's going to come up in later rounds and that person turns into a Hall of Famer? Let's go. Let's just pick one. Pick a pick. Pick number 6th round. I think it was 6th round. Pick number 199 has 7 Super Bowls, has 2 different teams, has more Super Bowls than any team in the league.
But that's once in a lifetime.
But
player.
But I'm just saying, later round.
They don't know. They might not know who you're talking about, but I do.
People know who I'm talking about, man. Everybody knows who TB12 is. But you can go through and do the research on multiple players that have come up, and I'm not saying that you can't get great players out of 1st and 2nd round. I'm not saying that in any form of fashion. But
more than likely, you're going to get somebody who was drafted late,
right,
with something to prove.
But you look at what the Rams have done with picking in later rounds. I have to go back and find out where Sebastian Joseph Day. I think he was picked out of the Rams. I think he was a later round pick. Who else did we lose? Oh my gosh, he was a later round pick. It was a couple more guys that have been late round picks especially that left this year. That got decent contracts that have played well. And then some of the free agents that they've picked up from other places that were mediocre at those places. And I'm going to use Dante Fowler. Dante Fowler was pretty cool. I think it was in Jacksonville. But when he came to the Rams, the dude is a Pro Bowler. And then when he went to Atlanta, it's like, whoa.
Nosedive.
What's going on?
Well, that just shows you the culture of the team you're part of.
Yeah.
As a Saints fan, I'm still a young Saints fan. I didn't watch it back during the bag days and all that. My first Saints quarterback was Aaron Brooks.
Talking about the Aints days.
Yeah, my first Saints quarterback was Aaron Brooks.
Yeah.
I do know about Bobby Hebert and Archie Manning and all those guys.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. The only way the Saints became relevant was when they got Drew Brees. Everybody wanted to play with Drew Brees once he proved himself that he was still a good quarterback.
Right.
An elite quarterback. probably future Hall of Famer. He should be.
Oh no, he is. That's guaranteed.
Um,
First ballot, dude.
but people like that, they want to play with winners. They know Tom Brady was the winner. That's why everybody took pay cuts from Tampa Bay won that Super Bowl a couple years
Yeah.
back.
And
They want to play with winners.
that's one of the things too. You got a guy like a Tom Brady who has taken minimal money.
He's taking
to
minimum quarterback
continue
salary
to
every
play.
year.
Almost every single, and it's not like he hasn't gotten his money, because between endorsements and all those other things, he I mean, he's just handling his business, dude. He handling his business. So I just want to say, culturally speaking, I think that's my biggest takeaway from this preseason. I mean, this off season so far. I mean, it's so many free agents have switched places, like you said, and it's crazy that you mentioned Devontae Parker, because a lot of people are probably like, "How's that going to be his?" But you never know what will happen with somebody like a Mac Jones needing this person to take them over the top, or this person needing a Mac Jones to help take them over the top.
And honestly, I played fantasy football since 2014. Devontae Parker, when he first came out, he was good when he had Tannehill.
Yeah.
When he lost Tannehill, he really kind of lost his spark. And I think why I picked him in particular is I think he's going to be the comeback wide receiver of the year. As far as completely, we all know other great. We know Jamar Chase. We know Cooper Kupp. We know all them guys. Robert Woods is going to get his. But Devontae Parker which is a wide receiver who really got pushed to the back of the fantasy and the NFL in general. Not many people start talking about him.
Yeah, and everybody.
He's been injury prone and all that, but it's been since he lost his quarterback.
Yeah.
And for people who say, one player doesn't make a team, yes, it does. If you don't have a good quarterback and you're a wideout or a running back, you can forget about it.
And I'm going to say this, and a lot of people may get upset, but I don't care. But I'm saying anyway, there are some quarterbacks that are only good because they have really smart wide receivers. And I'm just throwing it out there. There are some times, and I'm going to use the Rams. Kurt Warner is one of the best quarterbacks ever to play football ever. He's accurate. He was good in the pocket. It was hard to shake him. He took some hits that he probably shouldn't have, whether it be because of faulty lines. And there were times when he held the ball for a minute. But there have been throws that I've seen him make. There have been throws that I've seen Drew Brees make, especially toward the end, that he's made. Even Tom Brady. And I'm not saying the GOAT is not great, because he is. And you couldn't have gotten me to say that prior to him going to Tampa Bay, because I still can't stand the New England Patriots, because it just seemed like every time we went to a Super Bowl or went and we'll talk about this in a different podcast, but when I lived in St. Louis, I couldn't stand New England and Boston sports, because every time you turn around, the Red Sox were beating my Cardinals. The Patriots were beating my Rams. The Celtics, oh wait, we didn't have basketball. It just still felt like they were just coming through, just messing up things. So
they were coming just because.
Yeah, just because. We're gonna stop in St. Louis.
We're gonna bother St. Louis right quick.
Right.
Just to make their lives even more miserable than it already is.
They don't have a basketball team. But but neither here nor there, man. It's just one of those things where it's like, you look at these quarterbacks, and a lot of times people don't take into account the wide receivers' football IQ and the wide receivers' IQ of their quarterback makes a difference on the efficiency of both.
Especially in a pass-happy league like we have now.
Right, especially like we have now.
Because running backs are kind of taking a back seat. Now, there's still some great ones, but it's a wide receiver league. And when you got wide receivers that got quarterbacks, they're going to...
Yeah.
They got to depend on the quarterback to get their scores and their stats and all that. But they're what carries the team now. There is running backs, there is really good defenses, but it's mainly comes down to the wide receiver and the quarterback.
Yeah. The quarterback that I'm the happiest for this, I want to say quarterbacks that I'm happiest for this off season are Carr in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And not because he got Devontae.
Adams. Yeah.
Thank you. Devontae
He got
Adams.
a steal, though.
Not because he got Devontae Adams, just because, one,
He's got Devontae Adams and the run throw.
dude, he got Hunter Renfrow. He got Devontae Adams. They just picked up, who else did they pick up? They picked up defensive pieces, offensive pieces, so on and so forth. So it's a help when you're a good quarterback and you're not having to do all the work for the whole team.
Yeah, you need good running backs. You need good wide receivers who are smart, who can run routes.
And they haven't. I don't think the Raiders have really gotten the love that they should really get, and they've been rated really low. Like all of the sports shows that I've watched, and they do their rankings and all of this other thing.
Nobody's giving them their due.
Nobody's really giving them their due. And
I've always liked the Raiders.
I think they're like, what do they call them? The dark horse.
That's what they've been calling for years, though. They've been calling them the dark horse, the surprise team.
But it's just like
whatever they call them.
The moves that they made.
The team nobody takes seriously.
Like, for real, everybody's hollering about the Bills. I get it. I most definitely get it. You know, Josh Allen is that dude.
They're hollering about the Chiefs
all day.
Patrick
Their
Mahomes.
defense is probably one position away from just like taking it all.
They're one defensive stop from a Super Bowl this season.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. Offensive line was not the greatest for the Cincinnati Bengals.
They improved it.
They improved. Now, I haven't got to them yet, but I'm talking about the Bills. I'm talking about the Bills and their pass rush. And I understand they got Vaughn, and Vaughn's that piece that's missing. But Vaughn had AD on the other side.
Yeah, honestly, let's be honest. If it wasn't for AD, Vaughn wouldn't have got that contract.
AD,
they was calling him washed up 2 years ago.
Statistically proven, between 60 and 75% of snaps, this dude is double teamed and sometimes triple teamed.
Yeah.
Not 50, not 40%.
And honestly, at all these years, that's what the Saints are missing, another pass rusher like that.
60 and above. So how much help
majority
does
of
that
his snaps,
give
he's double teamed.
when the rookie, Ernest Jones, can come through and handle his business?
Yeah.
Yeah, not saying he was the greatest, but he made good on some opportunities that he got. You know what I'm saying, especially in the Super Bowl. But going back to the Bills, the reason why I said what I said about the Bills and about the Bengals offensive line and the Bills pass rush, dude, what happens when the Bills plays the Chargers?
The Chargers have completely revamped that defense.
Bro. The Chargers.
This is going to offend Ezra. I think the Chargers might be the best LA team right now, currently.
You are correct. You have offended me. You probably could have worded that differently.
Okay, let me try to reword it.
But no, don't reword it. Hold your words. Keep your words.
Keep my words. Okay.
Keep your words. Keep your words. Yes, my voice got high pitched. Keep your words. Go ahead.
I think with the moves the Chargers made and the improving of the defense, Justin Herbert going on his second year? Yes, I think it's the second year. And they already got running backs. They already got wide receivers. The offense was never questioned. But comparing both LA teams, the Chargers, and once again, gonna offend you, are a more rounded team than the Rams are. Now, do I think the Chargers have a better chance of making the Super Bowl than the Rams? No.
That's because of conference, though.
Exactly.
That's because of conference.
Rams being in the NFC makes it an easier road
now
to the Super Bowl versus for the Chargers. Chargers got to go through everybody. But finally, the Chargers are getting a little bit more respect than they had when they were in San Diego.
Man,
with the team they have now. And they still got money.
But the Chargers should have got a whole lot more respect last year. Justin Herbert, or if you guys ever come to Louisiana, it's not Herbert, it's Abear.
Yeah, so it's spelled the same.
There's a lot of people here calling him Justin Abear. But it's Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert playing.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
The dude is he's raw. Like, and I mean raw in a good way, not raw in a bad way. Like he still needs some. I mean, everybody still needs some honing in on their skills, but
But if
you know,
anybody's gonna do it,
just
he'll be
like
the
with
one
us
to bring a
doing this
championship
podcast,
to
dude, it's basically two fans talking about football.
trying to not stutter.
But I mean, all the weapons that they're adding around him and increasing the defense.
That's the big one.
I get it. I get what you're saying. I still think that the experience I think of Sean McVay, and then the experience that continually goes in and out the door for the Rams helps. It could hurt, but I mean, every year, basically since this dude has been coaching, he's lost coaches. I think he probably had more of the same coaches his first couple of years than since 2018. Yeah. 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. He's lost coaches. They've lost front office people, and that's a good thing. Because it allows, he has his, I think I've heard him talk about him hating the whole coaching tree situation, but bruh, I mean, it is what it is.
So are you saying if the Rams and the Chargers switch conferences, the Chargers are going to make the Super Bowl?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm still saying that I think as far as, now, if we're going to go into like picking
hypotheticals here, if them two teams switch, I mean,
if they switch conferences, I still think the Rams are top 3 in any conference.
I think that would make the Rams probably one of the better teams in the AFC West. And I know it's got Russell Wilson. I know it's got Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, dude.
But
the motivation just to sack Russell Wilson also all over again. He's the most sacked quarterback by the Rams in the NFC West.
And the one thing you can't say very often, not for a very long time, that the Rams and the Chargers are really good mirrors of each other. That's why I say the Chargers are a more rounded team, but the Rams are more Super Bowl contender because the Rams have the veteran leadership. They have a really good veteran quarterback.
And I think that's the difference.
The veteran quarterback?
Not that, just the veteran leadership.
Veteran leadership across the board.
Yeah, the veteran leadership. And I think, too, the other
Chargers are a really young team. Dude,
could you imagine if we had a guy, Khalil Mack?
No, I don't want to imagine that. Y'all wreak havoc as it is. I'm a Saints fan. I don't want the Rams to get anything better.
Man, and that's the other thing too, man. Going back to this hypothetical situation as far as like AFC, and I know this is going to be totally off of me just being a fan. This is just me looking at what I see as far as a fan goes. No expert stuff, no research. Everything that I've seen that the educated sportscaster and sports host pick, I'm not necessarily for, not necessarily against. I see the whole Buffalo situation, Buffalo being, the AFC Championship game being Buffalo.
Yeah, but the people on TV are told that they have to do this. This is the script they follow. But we have the luxury of not following the script.
But I think
we can make people mad.
But I think they're still doing picks based off of what they believe is going to be the situation. Like if I had to pick off the NFC side, of course the 4 teams on the NFC side is going to be Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Los Angeles, and
nobody.
Actually, no. I'm going to say San Fran if they keep Garoppolo. I say if it's...
I don't see that change happening.
If it's anybody else, who will be the 4th team in the NFC?
There isn't one. You can't pick one. You can't pick one.
I started laughing because I'm like...
There is not another good team. Commanders... we're gonna save that for another show.
But
that name is just horrible.
But can you see people talking about I'm going like where you headed to? I'm going to the game. We're going to watch the Commanders. Why are you going like that? I'm going commando.
That's terrible. Man, the NFC South has Tampa Bay. The NFC North has Green Bay. The NFC West is a toss up. Well, not really anymore because San Fran's the only team in the West that might still be. It depends on Kyler.
Yeah, how he's feeling. If he's
in his feelings or not.
If he's in his feelings and wanting to do baseball, then San Francisco most definitely is the second. Automatic.
In the East, I mean, the whole East is garbage.
Well, in the East,
I would say honestly, and I don't know if this is gonna get hate mail or not. The best team I think in the NFC East that might actually win the conference is Philadelphia.
You are going to upset people.
I am. I know. I have friends with Cowboy fans. I am friends with New York fans, and I don't know any Commander fans. But Philadelphia is the team that could very well win the NFC East.
Oh my god!
Next season, they're gonna beat each other up.
Okay, so I saw this article. I want to say I was on Bleacher Report. Saw this look, plug for Bleacher Report. I saw this article.
Don't plug them, they ain't paying us.
Hey, maybe one day.
Yes.
But either way,
I will plug anybody who wants to be plugged on this show.
Hey man, I don't care. At this particular point, I just want to have fun. That's like one of my favorite apps to get my news from. But neither here nor there. I think there was a article that said quarterbacks on the hot seat, and of course,
Number one.
I'm not gonna name the quarterback, but I'm just gonna say the question: what quarterback can as soon as they pop to your mind is always on a hot seat?
Dak Prescott.
Actually, he's not on that list.
I would think he would be on the hot seat because he just got paid.
No, Zach. Dak. Lord Jesus, I'm sleepy, y'all. My bad. I gotta go get some lunch. But Dak, no. Jared Goff's on there.
Yeah.
Jared just has this.
I don't know why Detroit won't just trade for Baker Mayfield and get it over with. They're gonna upgrade that position.
Who do you want, mild mannered, or you want Tasmanian Devil?
Do you want skills or mediocrity?
Hold on, bro. But if you get in your feelings and don't want to throw to people,
yeah. Okay. I see.
Next.
Never mind.
Okay, so one of the people that was on there, Sam Darnold, was on the list.
I don't see why he would be on the hot seat. He really doesn't.
I
wouldn't think he would have a lot of.
Sam Darnold's on the hot seat just because he's in the NFC South. The only real team to compete with is Tampa Bay. And if you can't come in, the only team for him to compete with is Tampa Bay. Come on, man. Look, I love the Saints. I love the fact that the Saints gave
Jameis Winston another shot.
That's called a Band-Aid so that you can find somebody in next year's draft.
Or this year's draft.
No, the only person I could, what's his name, Malik?
Malik and the guy from Pitt. There's two.
Yeah, no. What did the Saints pick?
I don't know. They don't have to move up to get either one of them.
Yeah, the only way for them to move up and get anything in the top 5 is give up a pick and give up Michael Thomas. That's not happening.
That needs to happen.
Oh, Saints fans, be on alert. We just ticked you off again.
You just triggered the Saints fans, and I want my own. Yeah, that needs to happen.
But you know what? There's probably a lot of Saints fans that agree with you. But going back to that, just going back to the whole hot seat quarterback situation. Jared Goff's on there. Sam Darnold was on there. I'm trying to think who else was on there that we were just talking about as far as what's my dude in Philly?
Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts on hot seat.
Well, yeah, I see why. Because Philly fan base is like, we want to win.
I mean, every fan base should be like that.
But Philly is one of the world's worst. If you're not winning, we don't want you. Philly will run you out of town,
dude.
If you're not winning,
you know what? You do have some fan bases,
and I'm surprised Daniel Jones isn't on that list right now.
Actually, is Daniel Jones?
That's another place where Baker Mayfield needs to go.
Daniel Jones is on that list. Now I can see Baker Mayfield going to the Giants. I can see him doing that. I can see him going to the Giants. I can see him going.
I told a buddy of mine the other day that that was a good idea that they should go ahead and give up on Daniel Jones. Sorry.
What's my dude?
And get Baker. And he told me, no, that's not going to happen.
What's my dude that went to Seattle? Drew Lock.
Drew Lock.
So Drew Lock, Mizzou standout.
Yeah.
Got drafted, got traded.
Yes, because he did nothing.
He had the little controversy a couple of years ago where they were late for stuff, and and they're losing games. And how y'all gonna be late? Y'all the leaders. There was a whole thing a couple of seasons ago, but I think Drew kind of like faded to the back and just been learning. And I think DK Metcalf was on. He was on a sports show with Kevin Garnett. And he was like, dude, y'all just wait and see. So when your wide receiver is amped about you, that means A, y'all have had conversation. B, y'all put some work in that don't nobody know. And then C, you can't wait for people to see the work that you put in.
You're saying that Drew Lock might actually surprise us?
That's what DK Metcalf is saying. I'm not saying that Drew Lock is a lock for anything. I'm just saying that. But
if DK Metcalf's high on him, that's not bad.
Hold on. Yeah, we can keep talking. But with that being said, though, it's one of those.
He's distracted.
Yeah, but neither here nor there. It's one of those things to where I don't know, man. Like I said, Drew Lock was one of the 7 on the. Not Drew Lock. I'm sorry. My apologies. It wasn't Drew Lock. It was Jordan Love. He's one of the ones that was on the hot seat.
Why is Jordan Love on the hot seat? He's still behind Aaron Rodgers.
Not Jordan Love. What's my dude?
Jalen Hurts.
Thank you. I told y'all I'm sleepy. Okay, I gotta go get me some food. But either way, Jalen Hurts on the list. Jared Goff on the list. Unfortunately, Jared's going to be on the list until Jared goes and makes it to another Super Bowl. I think that's because he's already been to one. And yeah, it should not be at this particular point, and I'm just going to throw this out here about Jared. I think for Jared, it should not be about money, even though he is playing in the NFL. I think if he continues to be with the Detroit Lions or wherever he goes next, when it comes time for him to sign another contract,
I don't think he's staying with Detroit I think he's. But they're gonna run a contract out and they can probably cut him.
And hopefully, because I think.
Granted, he had decent numbers, but he didn't have spectacular numbers.
I mean, but he's a Pro Bowler.
He's a Pro. Everybody's a Pro Bowler.
You know what?
But the new rules, everybody's a Pro Bowler.
But wait, though, I think with just like with the All-Star game in the NBA, just like with any of those things, I think certain guys, when they get a Pro Bowl, it's just like them getting an All-Pro nod. Like, I think Jared Goff, when he got his Pro Bowl, it was earned because they ended up going to a Super Bowl.
But he was in the system, though.
But he had really good stats that year.
He had like 3,000 yards this past season.
Yeah, he had good. Yeah,
he had decent stats this year.
Getting pretty good.
On the depleted Detroit team that's actually resurging.
Which, like I said, all of those particular things put in place, it's like, I believe he earned that Pro Bowl. There are some guys that just get Pro Bowls that's just, it is what it is.
Because they're a replacement because the guy is playing in the Super Bowl.
I like the NFL's top 100.
Yeah.
I love the NFL's top 100 because you see the guys talking. And
that's because it's players talking about other players that they know is good.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You hear them talking about why they're good. Oh, there's some dudes in the top 100 that I think that probably shouldn't have made the top 100. Yeah. But for the most part, it just all depends on where they fall in the top 100. I think that's the bigger issue. But at the same time, it's like when you look at certain players and you see their dominance, you you see a Aaron Donald's dominance. You see, depending on what year it is, Khalil Mack's dominance. You see any of the Bosa brothers' dominance. Do you see any of the Watts brothers' dominance? You just you see.
Yeah, JJ should have chased a Super Bowl, not a paycheck.
You said talking about Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm just
no JJ Watt.
Man,
JJ Watt should have
JJ
chased the Super Bowl, not a paycheck. But he did. He went. That's why he went to Arizona.
I think JJ was. I think he actually was chasing both. For real, just being honest. I think he was chasing both because he saw where they were going, dude.
They got potential.
You got JJ.
But now you have a disgruntled quarterback again.
D-Hop, but they didn't know that.
But I know now. But now he wasn't disgruntled last year when they were winning. He's disgruntled now.
Yeah, I mean, but he was disgruntled last year. That just don't start. I mean,
what is it with Oklahoma quarterbacks?
I don't know, man. But
what is it with Oklahoma quarterbacks?
So I gotta do my homework on the draft, bro. We got the draft coming up.
Yes.
And throwing this out there to everybody listening to this podcast, we are going to be doing a live podcast on what's that other one? I told y'all I'm sleepy.
On YouTube?
YouTube, yes. We're going to be doing it on YouTube. It's going to be uploaded to our Anchor account. You'll be able to listen to it on Spotify and any other podcasting platform. But we're going to go live on YouTube draft night. Probably do about an hour.
Yeah, we're going to do an hour watch along with everybody live.
Because we are fans, so that means that we do still have regular jobs that we have to go do, and we have family and all that other stuff. Not saying that all you other professional podcasters don't have those particular things, but neither here nor there. We're going to do that. We're going to be talking a little fantasy football on April 12th.
Yes, April 12th will be the first videoed episode being released. We're going to be talking a little fantasy football.
And it's Beanie's birthday.
And it's my birthday.
Beanie's birthday.
That's why we picked that day. We're going to be talking a little bit of fantasy on football. We're going to be talking about more of this offseason chaos because you can't cover it all in one. In one almost 40-minute episode, you can't cover this.
Right.
There's too much chaos.
And we could talk about all this stuff all day long. There's so many more things that we just really want to talk about. I know today was a little bit sporadic. And everything.
We have quite a few episodes planned. We got special guests gonna be there.
Dude, y'all pray for me. There are some people that I either went to college with that played in the NFL, and people that I would have played against in high school, had I stuck with football, but I didn't. I ran track. Yeah, I ran a 4.3940.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 4.3940. I think my fastest was 4.37. My slowest was 4.4. So, and I wasn't even the fastest dude on our track team, bro.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we had some cats running 4.20s, 4.27.
Fast.
And there was other guys. I remember this one dude we used to run against. He was from this place called Pontotoc, Mississippi. One of the fastest dudes I ever knew. His name was Spenshea Outlaw. And I'm talking about his last name was Outlaw. He ran like an outlaw dude. It was ridiculous. But that's another story for another time. But y'all pray for me, man. As we progress, I want to see if I can get some of these guys to come on a YouTube episode, or either just come on the podcast and talk to us. And one of them used to play for the Saints. I'm not gonna say his name.
Ooh,
because I don't know if I can get him, so I'm not even gonna put him out
special
there like
guest
that.
Coming up.
Hopefully y'all just pray for me because I'm gonna reach out if they don't.
I didn't know about those special guests, but we got those special guests. We got fellow YouTuber special guests. We got all kinds of special guests coming. Everybody loves football. Everybody loves talking about football. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify.
Follow us on anywhere that podcasts are. On any podcast